housekeeping notes. Just want to remind everyone that there are 2 other stages outside that you can take part in. There's the power stage and the open stage back here. We've kind of got like a speaker's corner area where you can talk to young startups, young entrepreneurs about their projects. You can ask them questions about what their business models are. That's out there. And between those 2 stages is a networking area, and you can have a coffee, you can talk to people, and just take a break before you come back in here. We want to move along now and talk about the industrial internet now. We want to shift gears, if you will, literally. We're going to, as we continue this afternoon, our next segment addresses the industrial internet, specifically automobiles. Now, the vehicle is becoming part of the internet. And for more on the connected car, we've got a duo presentation for you this afternoon. So please help me welcome 2 gentlemen, the Senior Vice President of Interior Electronic Solutions at Continental, Mr. Ralph Lenninger, and the General Manager of Global Automotive Industry at IBM Deutschland, Mr. Dirk Vollschläger. Let's see if those gentlemen can come out on the stage for us. Have fun, gentlemen.
Okay,
have fun. Yeah, sure. How you doing? It's good to see you.
Okay.
Wo ist der Drücker?
We need something to scroll the charts. Just a second.
Okay, so
thank you. All right.
Thank you very much, Dirk. So hello, ladies and gentlemen. We, my colleague Dirk Vollschläger from IBM and myself, Ralph Lenninger, Continental, we are more than pleased that you take your time in order to listen to what we have to tell on the connected cars and connected industry. What we have in mind, what our thoughts, what is our strategy, and what we really have in mind to do. To make a sustainable business, to be successful as well in the future, we every day, at least as everybody of you thinks, what do we need to do in order to secure our future? And what we have done is we have made up our mind and said the best business is if you solve a problem, and as bigger the problem and as better the solution is, as better the business is you can do. So we ask ourselves, what are the world's biggest challenges where we may contribute to? And as everybody of you knows, the water crisis, peak of oil, medical supply, species extension, climate control, and traffic collapse is in a situation which is at least not acceptable for society anymore, though new solutions are requested for that. And so the question was, what can we, as Continental, one of the largest automotive suppliers in the world, can contribute to solve these problems? So, of course, we are going 2 ways. The first way is constantly developing our products like engine management to have higher efficiency, safety products to have even more safety in the car on an evolutionary path. But as well, we are scanning around and ask ourselves, are there any disruptive technologies which is helping us to make the car better? And based on that, we identify one of those technologies. This is an HMI issue, by the way. One of the major technologies is the Internet of Everything. So I'm on the CeBIT here, you know pretty well. Today we have more than 50 billion connected devices in the Internet of Everything. In 2020 it will be more than 50 billion, and out of the 50 billion, 1 billion will be cars. So what we ask ourselves, what is the Internet of Everything offering to us in the technology terms? What can we do better with the Internet of Everything? And this is connecting the car with the infrastructure and the rest of the world by using technologies going away from purely controlled ways to closed-loop ways. And of course, nothing is so efficient and nothing is avoiding so much waste like closed-loop systems. So having that in mind, we ask ourselves, is there a business behind that? Internet of Everything and connecting everything, connecting the car. And we get the answer from Beecham Research, and they told us that the total business opportunity within the next 9 upcoming years will be 14.4 trillion, where a certain portion is transportation. And that, combined with the fact that we as Continental Automotive, we are one of the technological leaders in the world, brought us clear to the decision, yes, we will enter this arena of Internet of Everything. We are developing this kind of technologies and make solutions for our customers, the car manufacturers happen. So if you make it happen, we looked if other disruptions even took place in the world. And what we find was a telephone. And if you see here on the left side, I do not know if anybody in the room knows this kind of device. That was called 20 years ago a telephone. In Germany, you mostly get it in green or in orange, a very bulky thing with a lot of wires. There are no memories and things like that. And there was a strong supply community, business community making business with that. So that was substituted by the ISDN technology, and suddenly those companies which make business with the traditional telephone did not anymore do business in the ISDN by having this disruption. And if you see the next step in voice over IP telephony, new companies like Cisco are doing business with that. So, and that means the Internet of Everything are not only transforming products, it's transforming markets and it's transforming companies. And so we said, careful, if we would like to use this technology of Internet of Everything, it's not enough to use the technology, also we need to adapt our company that we are prepared for that. So what is the destination on that? And so we we have analyzed what has happened from a consumer point of view by this Internet of Everything technology. And what we learned is from the smartphone that a smartphone connected industries. So if I look for my smartphone, the bank account, my bank account, I'm controlling out of my smartphone. Though the banks gets part of the ecosystem banks, of the ecosystem smartphone. If you look for music, I'm not going anymore to shops and buying music, I'm downloading this. And what really has happened is that the smartphone built up a new ecosystem by combining new industries together. And as the consumer, the customer, have the intention what his user experience he have in a smartphone, he would like to see in the car as well. So we said the normal consequence is to keep this kind of ecosystem and make this ecosystem available in the car as well. But it's not just copy and paste, because keep in mind, driving a car is a very special situation. You should not be distracted by using your smartphone. It needs to be safe. It needs to be automotive compliant and of course trusted, because we're in a car which may come to a safety critical situation is something which we need absolutely to avoid on that. But here you see what we then have in mind, that yes, we would like to bring the car with our technology into the Internet of Everything by taking count on distraction issue and trusted as well. Trust as well. Trusted security. So the question is how to do it. As an automotive supplier, we are not so much known as an IT company. Our competences are not so big. So we ask ourselves what kind of technology are needed, and at least it's 3. We need to have a big understanding on the IT technology within the car. Please keep in mind, today you have up to 90 computers in the car working with the calculation power on around about 20 laptops. Second pillar we need is the back end, big data and analytics. Why like that? Because if millions of cars sending per second a lot of information, you really need big data, analytics and datability. And of course the third pillar is services, information which could be calculated in the back and could be sent to the car, that the car really gets here more information to get better in comfort, safety and efficiency. Not to forget what is linking all pillars together, which is the trusted connectivity. And as you may know, or in that arena, we have formed a cooperation with the company Cisco. So special for the back end, big data analytics, we are more than pleased. Then after long analyze what kind of players are in the world, having the chance to cooperate here with IBM, I think IBM, not to explain how strong IBM is in big data and analytics, and that was really so much convincing for us that we really asked for a kind of cooperation, and we really come through with that. So based on that, we think vehicle, IT network, controlling the 90 computers in the car, that's okay with Conti. Backend we have with IBM, with the Datability, and so we think that we can develop pretty good solutions for our customers, the OEM. So what does it mean now concrete? What kind of functions we can generate with that? And we see three arenas. The first arena is increase the comfort of the car. And here, one out of a lot of examples is, did everybody would like to have a smartphone on his left back, a car key in his right back, or would it make sense to integrate the car key in the smartphone? The answer is we see customers which liking this, and based on that, we start a development with IBM in order to integrate the key for the car in a smartphone. But keep in mind, to do so, you need a strong back-end security that the key is secure, managed within the back-end, and the code is sent to the smartphone. By the way, applications are rental cars or shared cars or giving the car at least to other people. So, second arena we are looking for is the arena of safety. And keeping in mind, more than 90% of the accidents today are root caused by driver distraction. That means the driver is not looking to the street, do not have with both hands on the steering wheel, he's just using his smartphones or doing something else. And so the question is, wouldn't it be nice if he can really control the car by language? Not by language as it is done today, by natural language. And here, again, we have the pleasure that we can working on that concretely with IBM, and as everybody knows, with the Watson project, natural language, syntax and semantic, we have really good opportunities on a natural language control of the car in order to make the car more safe. So, third arena where we are working with is what we call the efficiency. Why efficiency? Here the background is, if you go for running in your free time and you have a distance on 5 kilometers in front of you, you are managing your energy. You said, okay, I start a little slow, then I run hang up, so I'm even slower. If I run hand down, I can do it even more. All in all, you make an energy management on the whole distance you are running. And the same idea we have here for the car. If the car knows what the route is looking like, how much traffic you have, what are the weather conditions, do you have accidents on the route, things like that, the car can increase the efficiency. By the way, we are looking here more than 4% CO2 reduction, which is huge. Keep in mind, every car would save more than 4% on CO2. That is a huge contribution to the environment. So, and the car knows what's going around the car, called e-Horizon, is a key technological element for automated driving. Why? Because if the car is driving automatically, the car is doing what you normally as driver doing, looking in front, make predictions, what is the situation, you look in the back mirror, and the same needs to be done by the car, but not only by the sensors, as well by all information which are available in the back end. And that's huge, Dirk. And how this will be done, I think you will show us.
Okay, so you have some more examples. So, yes, how do we come in? Why is the backend important for such a kind of connected car solution? So, here's a little example of car at a real traffic situation and how to send data to a backend cloud. I will talk about it in more detail. So, is it working?
Hardly.
Ah, yeah, okay. So, it's no surprise that Continental in this cooperation is focusing on the in-vehicle technology, while IBM is focusing on the backend solution, big data processing and analytics in nearly real time in a backend cloud environment. So we will also integrate third-party content in this solution. So these are data about customers, dealers, also other industries to make the Internet of Things happen. So if we look on the current technology, we see here another reason why we need a backend. You see this car in Continental colors, and the current sensor range is between 100 and 300 meters. But it's just the sensor range in front of the vehicle. To extend the preview information and to make the driving more secure and more comfortable, we need a wider area to analyze it, to get more traffic information for prediction also. So finally, the decision will be made by the car if all the information fits together and if it makes sense based on the detailed information around the car. So that's the current setup, how we are working together, and we are focusing on the various elements. So to give you another example, so here, of a real traffic information. So here we see 3 vehicles equipped with sensors, the orange one, the blue one, and the brown one. So the orange one is sending on continuous basis some information about position, about the traffic condition to the backend. And on continuous basis, the backend is providing also data about the environment to that car. There are other vehicles in, for example, the blue one, where just the ESP system has to be activated, and this will be sent also to the backend cloud environment. And also there is a traffic jam ahead, and this traffic jam is detected by another car, the brown one, and this information is also sent to the backend cloud. And as I said before, in nearly real time, we send this information back to the first car, so we have a much larger time to react than just with the sensors which are built in the car. And you see at the bottom the distance between the car and the end of the traffic jam. So it's much more convenient, much more secure. So IBM is providing the IT backend, and what we are doing also is, based on this traffic information of all these cars, we built a highly accurate map with all the traffic predictions and also with some kind of recommendations, for example, to change the lane. So this is based on IBM technology, where we have invested significant amounts in our M2M platform for connected vehicles. So with this technology, we are able to transfer the data much faster, and with just one of these box you see here, that one appliance, we are able to monitor 1 million cars. So for a city like Munich, you need just 2 of these boxes to monitor 2 million cars as concurrent users in IT terminology. So finally, for fast messaging, reliable communication, and also ad hoc correlations, and also we can do this in non-stable network environment, because we have a special technology behind that we are able to provide the information even if the network is not that stable as it's sometimes the case. So we will show some more details here on our booth at Hall 2, and we will talk about vehicle notification, geospatial mapping, and some other examples about remote diagnostics and location-based marketing, for example, to make the Internet of Things happen. That's what we are doing jointly with Continental. And Ralph, now it's your turn again.
Yeah, key messages. If you leave the presentation with this three key messages, we would be very pleased. The first is the connected car realize the demand for safety, efficiency, and comfort.
And it is part of the Internet of Things.
And to make it happen, cooperation is not enough. We need to have seamless cooperation across industries, in this case IT and automotive, a kind of melting pot.
Okay. So that's it, what we have prepared for today, and we are happy to answer your questions.
Yeah, we've got time. We've got time for questions.
Yes.
Oh,
Any questions from the audience? Because we've got a couple of minutes. There were a couple of hands I saw. No questions. People scratching their heads. So, here's one in the front. Let's take this one right here. This gentleman. Do we have a microphone? Unser netter Studenten da hinten. Gibt es ein Mikrofon für die Gäste? Für die Leute hier im Publikum. Habt ihr kein Mikrofon?
Maybe you can give us a question. I'll repeat it then. Yeah, so first of all, timeline. The connected car is today. Because if you're looking for cars like BMWs and Mercedes, you have emergency calls, connected emergency calls today. So second is the function we show. The e-Horizon, you remember the car knows the route. We have the first version in mass production yet in the truck industry. Not connected, just based on the map in the car. And the second generation we will come up in 2016 with the connected e-Horizon. The third is the smartphone using as a key. We are ready for mass production as of 2015. And here we are in discussion with our OEMs how to do.
Could you give him that microphone, please?
Genau, no, you get a microphone. Thank you.
At which time will all the sensors talk to each other? Like, when will we have like a more intelligent GPS system, navigation system? Is this like, when will this all be connected, and how do you keep up with older vehicles?
Okay.
So the connection on the car internal sensors today is the question, or?
Yeah, when will they like interact, these cars, with the sensors from the other car?
Okay, so you're talking on car to car. Okay, for car to car, how is one car talking to the other car? There are two technologies. One is called directly car-to-car communication. Here we have a consortium and a standard in Europe. The technology is ready to go for mass production, and the car customers are now making up their mind when they are bringing this to mass production. But technology is ready. The second technology that cars can talk to each other is car to back end to car. This is also available as of today. The difference is the latency time, because if you send an information first to the back end and then to the other car, it takes more time compared that the cars are talking to each other.
The difference is that if you just communicate car to car, you do not have the highly accurate maps or the real-time map information of your environment. You just have the information around your car, so based on the sensors of your car and the cars around. And if there is a car, like in this example, without sensors, then you don't detect this car. Yeah.
Okay, the lady here.
Hello. What is going to be the service provider who is going to transmit information from a car to peak or from a car to a car? Is it going to be a mobile operator and SIM card inside the car? Who's going to be providing this?
Clear is, we are driven by the fact that we will have an open system. So we think it's wrong to make a dictatorship to the customer, what is allowed to bring to the car and what is not allowed.
Right.
So the ecosystem will be based that whoever is offering attractive services could be able to get part of the ecosystem. But whatever is coming to the car needs to fit to the security and safety standard. give you a concrete example. If an app company is coming along and says, I have a wonderful app, unfortunately you have a very high intensity on interaction, HMI with that. We don't think it's a good idea to bring it to the car. We would do the recommendation, make an easy using HMI. But the base is an open system.
But we are working basically with all service providers. We just need any kind of connection in the network.
Let me just throw one that we had on the Twitter wall. With all this big data and with cars being connected, what can the motorist do if he or she does not want to be followed or spotted? I mean, you're using this technology, for example, to regulate traffic with connected cars. But how can the motorist maintain his privacy and at the same time be a part of traffic?
Yeah. So we come to the issue of privacy.
Yeah.
Clear is, we think data have two sides. One is a very positive side, because having constantly the data from the cars, you can help a lot. Even we can save your life. It's called e-call. For example, you have an accident, and the accidents happen, and directly information is coming to the back end that you have an accident, who are you, what is your blood group, and things. That is absolutely helpful thing. On the other side, with data could also be done very bad things. Look for the NSA discussion. Clear is, and as yesterday said by Professor Winterkorn from Volkswagen, what we need to do is we need to found an alliance within the automotive industry to come up with a trustful concept in order really to have the privacy in a respective, completely fitting to legal requirements manner. And that isn't to do.
Okay.
But clear is, based on the recommendation of Mr. Winterkorn, CEO from Volkswagen yesterday, we would completely agree to that and be part of this alliance.
Okay. Did you want to say anything?
No, I'm fine.
I mean, I think, too, the question that the lady asked here is interesting. Are we going to have a separate carrier or a separate package for our car if it's connected? Or can I have an internet package at home that gives me wireless that also works on my car? I mean, I can imagine that all types of providers are, licking their chops right now, thinking of the money that they can make by charging us extra to have internet access to our car. I mean, is that what you're doing? Are you creating a cash cow for the car connectivity industry?
I think clearly this is a new business model for the OEMs and for suppliers as well, and for IT industry. But I mean, finally, the user can decide, as today with what you're doing with your smartphone, if you want to use the service or not. So while Ralph is, as he's just told you, managing his bank account on his smartphone, I'm not doing it. So it's your decision.
Okay, it's our decision.
But as a driver, I would be very much interested to use the security features. So even if you think, if there is a dangerous situation on the street, and I think everybody of us has seen it before, the time you need to switch on the hazard light, and sometimes you don't find it immediately. This is done can be done automatically. If there is a car, for example, in the near where just the airbag exploded. So that's something. So all the cars around get the warning.
We want to do a kind of a flash poll here and ask people, if you could raise your hand, how many people would be willing to pay extra to their current internet service provider if they could offer car connectivity? Who would be willing to pay, let's say, 20 euros, $20 a month more? Raise your hand. So see, that's the beginning of the cash cow right there.
That's good.
Gentlemen, very good. Okay, any more questions before we say goodbye to our duo? All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.